Hello, Baker County, and welcome back to the Press Pass, our weekly conversation about what's in the paper and what we're watching around the county. I'm Elizabeth, and I'm joined with Jessica Pravat, our publisher, and Joel Addington, our editor.
At your service.
All right, so question of the day before we get into the news. What's one local place you think more people should visit?
I got two dialed up, so I said I got two picked out. So you,
What was the question? All right, refresh me. One local place you think more people should visit?
Yes.
Oh gosh. Well, that's a pretty broad question. I would say I think Shoals Park is one.
often called the hidden gem.
Yes, I mean, having been out there a couple of times, for anybody who wants access to the river, and it is kind of cold, or compared to the air
else.
outside, let's
Right.
say. It's the river is probably cooler than the pool.
Yeah.
And there's a little more water in there these days. But it's good for just wandering around. If you've got pets, you can take your pets. If you like to kayak, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. And
Bird
it's
watching.
getting outside. Yes, the whole key is getting outside. And it's not like going to Ocean Pond where you get in the water and you come out covered in stuff.
Brown slime.
Yes, it's just sketchy. So Shoals Park, I think, is one.
I'm going to shout out the Historical Society.
Yes.
Even though I was not invited to the tours that you guys gave out the other day.
But they were amazing.
From what I've heard.
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler Mobley got an invite too. But So just if you haven't been to the Historical Society in a while, go check it out. They got a lot of new exhibits, including one that's close to our heart here at the Press. You want to tell them a little bit more about that? The microfiche.
Oh, they have organized and set up the microfiche machine or microfilm. I think there's a difference. I'm not sure which one it is, but they have all the papers back through the 30s,
That's
even
awesome.
ones we're missing copies of. These are all the University of Florida, I guess, has been creating these, and then they give them to the Historical Society to store. And so they've got the machine set up. You can look at them for all these years, and it's organized by year.
There's no keyword
neat.
searching,
Nice.
unfortunately, when it comes to film. But you can again, like you say, you can scan all those old editions for information about old relatives or events. Or for us as professional archivists, in a sense, getting those years that we don't have personal access to here in the office is very special. So shout out the Historical Society, shout out the University of Florida for getting all those newspapers back in the day and keeping them for everybody else.
What they've done a lot of work in is the genealogy set up upstairs. So they had tons of records that had just kind of been piled. And I mean, I was shocked and amazed. They could rival the library for the amount of information, but they have cataloged, they have organized, they have areas set up where you can sit down and do your research. They have a computer. I mean, it's just, I was very impressed. And it's like sorted according to local families, Baker County as a whole, Georgia, because there's so many people that, I mean, it's just, I loved it. I like what they're doing. They've got these museum exhibits kind of set up now. So
they got merch.
Absolutely. They had some really cool merch. There's a tank top I want to get back up there and get, but definitely check it out. They're open, I think, most every Saturday, maybe. But they're on Facebook. So
the first
they post
Tuesday.
almost every day.
So be sure to get up there and check out all the cool things.
Yeah. All right, so our big story this week is the school district made the honor roll. The reason that matters is because the district has been losing students and state funding. So showing parents that they can drive academic improvements, particularly for struggling students, is an awesome, awesome thing.
All right, so yes, the school grades are out and the district employees are thrilled. I mean, to put it nicely, it's or put it, actually, it's not nice. It's more sedately. They are over the moon excited, especially, of course, Superintendent Wyatt Milton. There's been a lot of big changes since he took office. And of course, he stepped in at the time when the district all of a sudden went from, high times to just hemorrhaging students and funding, and just the challenges were enormous.
Certainly, I think he walked in the door facing like a $2 million shortfall or something like that. Had to start making cuts while improving student performance, which is not an easy thing to do. So credit to the school district for making such great strides. Like Liz was saying, particularly with the struggling students. I think even at the graduation level, there was like, I can't remember how many. It was like 24 kids that were like on the cusp of graduating, and they got like 70% or 80% of those kids over the finish line, right?
They started like with 75 and got it down to like, I think 11 or less than 10.
Yeah, I mean, so like 90%. That's pretty dang good. So,
and I mean, and they're still even helping some of them try to pass the test. I mean, beyond graduation, but yeah, they just, I mean, he came in and he did a bunch of different things, and his goal has been like, well, even like Sherry's when she was superintendent, everybody wants to be that A district. Everybody wants to be like St. John's or Nassau, and have those A districts in the A schools. But the goal is to be an A school or an A district. And he made all these big changes. I mean, new administration and changing things up. I mean, he's been steadily adjusting, and he seems to have maintained the support of the staff. It's been a big buy-in, and this is kind of the culmination. These grades, it's like finding out the results of a contest. So, everybody's on edge,
and the payoff for all the changes, for sure.
Well,
it's nice to see your work pay off, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's both on the administration, the teachers in the classroom, and then the students who buy into putting forth the effort into helping improve their own scores and grades. And it's a group effort. They bring in the families, the homes. I've noticed like Legacy and the elementary schools have done a lot trying to encourage the parents to get involved.
Well, and particularly this summer, the push for literacy and keeping kids engaged has been amazing to watch.
Yeah, so I mean,
and they were just 2 points shy of getting an A.
Yeah, let's get into some of them. Yeah, so we had 3 schools that improved on their grades from last year. I mean, it's not like we had bad schools or anything, but we had some C schools that improved to B status, which would be the middle school and Legacy. And then McClenny Elementary went from a B to an A. Which again gave us that sort of A/B honor roll status district wide. Got us and what you referenced, that 60, was it 62 or 63?
They got a 63 versus the 65.
Yeah, 65 with a 65, and this is a percentage of possible points that the district gets measured on, and this has to do not only with student test scores but graduation rate. How many kids are doing like advanced placement courses or career and technical education certifications, that kind of stuff. All that gets put in a formula, and you get so many points for each of those. And anyway, if you get 65% of the points this year, or more, you would have gotten an A. We hit 63, so we were like this close. So I mean, I crunched the numbers so much that I know exactly what they need to do next year to get those extra 2 points. But luckily or unluckily for them, actually, the state, we weren't the only district apparently that did pretty good this year.
A lot of schools stepped it up.
And so next year, the A mark is 70 instead of 65.
Yeah.
So to get to that A status next year, we gotta improve quite a bit.
Yeah, they got 7 points. They got to jump. But I mean, hey, they created that gap this year and bumped up to that B district. So I mean,
they showed they can do it, and they showed they got a formula that leads to improvement.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, they're definitely working hard, and I mean, even throughout the summer, they're down there. They're coming up with new ideas. I mean, like I said, like you mentioned, the Legacy of Quentin Taylor, Teacher of the Year, out doing this mobile library, trying to keep, and it's not just for kids that go to Legacy. I mean, these are kids, period, that can go check out books and, get information. He's doing like an online reading. He's like reading a chapter of a book or something, or a book.
Yeah, not just him.
He has a YouTube channel.
They have a whole YouTube channel of not only celebrities reading books, but also district folks reading books to keep it local. So that's cool.
So, I mean, they shout out to Superintendent Milton, all the administrators, all the teachers. You guys are killing it down there. And as a parent of a student who graduated and no longer has kids in the district, you guys have done a great job. So
definitely those writing scores. The writing scores this year were really good, particularly at those younger grades, which bodes well obviously for future readers and literacy and
Absolutely.
people in our profession.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So next up, we're doing a recap for all the 4th of July stuff that went out this weekend.
There was so much.
Yeah.
I was telling
What'd y'all think?
Chris Burnham, he came in about his car show from 2 Saturdays ago or something, and if you look at this week's edition, it looks like we do nothing but like have fun and party on the weekend. To make, well, I know a lot of people do that.
Just this edition.
We do, we do more than that, but particularly this weekend with all the festivities, which you were able to attend 2 events, I believe.
Yes, I started off Friday afternoon, evening at the Duck Pond. The chamber has their annual Independence Bash, and everybody always says, why isn't it on July 4th? Well, there's a multitude of reasons. And I mean, some of that's just like this is back in the day, everybody on July 4th went to Jacksonville or even Lake City to go see the fireworks. And so there wasn't a lot of people in town. So in order to have a decent turnout, you had to kind of do it the weekend before. But
not to mention, a lot of people do their own fireworks.
Or family, they're at their own
field.
Yeah, they're at home.
They want to do that on the 4th. And
exactly.
So this is the community version of that.
Exactly. Right. But this year, instead of doing it like a whole weekend ahead of time, they did it Friday night on the July 3rd. And I think, probably some of what's pushing this is it's the 250th birthday of America.
Right.
So there's a lot of people wanting to celebrate.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So they did it at the park. They changed some things up. They changed up the layout. They had a whole lot of vendors. And I mean, when I say vendors, of course, politicians, because it is election season. You had a couple of them. You had a lot of people selling things, little trinket type, craft fair, boutique type stuff. And then just the informative booths. I saw like the Historical Society had a booth. Raleigh's Angels had a booth. There
Women's
were a variety of
those.
Yeah, the Women's Club was painting faces. And so
apparently nonstop.
Yes.
That's all they were doing.
They had like over 40 booths, and then they had a whole section of the food. And past years could have been anywhere from say 200 to 500 people. This year, I think an estimate I heard was like 2,000, and I believe it because
packed shoulder to shoulder kind of thing.
It was in
That's
the area.
Park, I mean.
Well, it is, and where they had the stage, they had an artist out of Nashville come down and performed, and I mean, he did a great show. He would sing requests.
Oh wow!
So that was kind of cool, and then they like timed it to where they had the sheriff's office present the colors. So they brought the flag out and they played Chris Stapleton's version of the Star Spangled Banner, which who doesn't get patriotic when they hear that? And then, I mean, as soon as the last night or the last note kind of died on the Star Spangled Banner, the fireworks started going off. And so, I mean, everybody, and that Duck Pond Park is large. I mean, especially if you like factor in where the big sidewalk, track or whatever you want to call it, is the walking path. And then they do soccer in the middle. There were people all in that field. They had brought out their blankets. I walked, and I mean, this is how long the fireworks lasted. I started at the music tent and I stopped and took pictures. And then I went up and I took more pictures. And I started walking towards the ball fields where they were shooting them off at. And I kept stopping to take pictures and stopping to do video. And it just kept going. And I mean, I made it all the way to that little side road to where I could actually see them lighting the fireworks and shooting them off. And that was when they hit the finale. So, I mean, it was a great show. And of course, that's not even counting the people that just pulled up around the ball fields.
That was me.
Surrounding. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure North Plenty was crazy.
Yeah, I was on North Boulevard and I parked facing it. And I filmed it last year and this year. And I feel like it was longer this year. I think it was a little longer. I think it was about 10 minutes last year. And I think it was about 15, like almost exactly this year.
15 minutes.
Yeah, which is great. And then I love that since they've done the renovations and stuff, the flag was, all the fireworks were going off behind the flag. It was really neat. So because I enjoyed it, but it was packed.
Yeah, they had the big fire truck with the flag hanging down. So, I mean, it was a very patriotic event. And then that was basically followed up with Souls Harbor's Freedom Fest, which that's the reason they didn't overlap, because that event has been going on for multiple years now, and it's a pretty huge to do. They
Oh yeah.
have a stage, they've got a permanent stage they've built next to their church, big huge fields out there. That was a massive turnout. I mean, I went last year for the first time, and they had a pretty decent turnout then, but this year I went early trying to get in there because I had to delay it with weather a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of people packed up already, lined up along 90 parking to watch the fireworks. But they do a great fireworks show. The music was good, and it's just, you could feel the patriotism in the air. Didn't make it by the Legion event. There's a lot going on, but I mean, I heard some good things about what the Legion was doing over there. It's a little more kid friendly, bounce houses, stuff like that. But I mean, overall, it was a great weekend. And the good thing was you didn't have to pay a dime if you didn't want to go attend any of this stuff.
Yeah, you just kind of showed up and had
And a lot of it, like I said, it's election season. The food was free, depending on whose booth you went to. I saw hot dogs. I saw cookies, little light up ones for the kids. I mean, it's like everybody had their own little stick.
Yeah, it was sort of a perfect storm of circumstances to get everybody in one place at one time.
Yes,
Right.
but it was a good time, and Souls Harbor hands out, I think, free hot dogs and stuff. So it's
So big thank you to the chamber, Dylan Pullen.
Yep, doing
City
a great
Clinic.
job. I mean, they had TDC, Phantom Fireworks obviously comes through
Definitely.
huge for these events with donations of the fireworks. The city fire department, I mean, I watched them set up. That was kind of cool. I didn't realize there was really a method to the madness until I watched it. And I
saw the
mean,
madness.
yes, it took about, there was a large group that was, setting them out, and then of course they do everything very safely. They're in like full gear, the ones that are lighting them off to make sure there's no accidents.
I'm sure they enjoyed starting fires instead of putting them out.
Yes. As long as they were temporary. I did hear a light.
Yeah.
A light caught on fire.
I saw it. I was like, that's not it. Because at first I thought it was a firework. And I was like, that's a light. That's
probably
not
a bird's nest. That was
it might
up
have
there.
been, yeah.
But,
makes sense.
But yeah, it was great fun.
More folks showed up than, I mean, according to the city manager, more folks than have ever come to that event before. And obviously the city manager, Mike Ripp, has seen it basically every year.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's I mean, I laughed because somebody actually had a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
They said this, we have the big Christmas festival parade.
Mhm.
That is our annual event.
Why
People
not?
know this could be like our next one. And Dylan and I had this conversation just in, fun. It would be so cool if you could like have a parade up to the park to kick off the event.
I love that.
And if you had like the fire trucks spraying water on people as they go in because it's so hot.
They
it's
did
so
that
hot.
in, it was either Lake Butler or Stark. I saw a flyer for it that they were doing that for the kids.
Yeah,
with the
so
fire
you
trucks. I
just
was like,
get
that's
the
such a
kids
good
to line
idea.
up on one section, like right there by the park entrance where the road's kind of one way.
Hold them all down.
It's gonna be hot enough for it. That's for sure.
That's it.
Right?
I mean, it's there's definitely, he was excited with the turnout. Obviously there were a few hiccups here and there, but it's if that was the worst of it, hey, it was fun and it can only get better. So shout out to everybody involved.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're moving on back to the government stuff with a story that's ongoing as we're in budget season. We're in budget season, so we got the audit turned in on time though. So
the audit got turned in on time. It was a clean audit, in the words of the auditors. So you can't ask for anything more than that. But the county commissioners also began their budget deliberations on Tuesday. And that was very confusing from the outside. I can imagine what it was on the inside. But so we're working on getting some documents together to fully fill in those details. But suffice it to say, the county has a lot of money to budget, and they're just now getting into the weeds of that. But we did hear from the sheriff's office this week too on a large increase, at the 10-15%, something like that. A lot of the other constitutional officers, some had level budgets, some had other increases. But again, they're just now getting into the weeds on that stuff. So more to come.
Yeah. And there was a lot more discussion about like that Tyler technology software. And I mean, you were able to kind of hear like when
from the fire side.
Yes, Fire Chief Don Blanton was just borderline raving about how much better that system will be for them integrating. And I mean, there was discussion, I guess, about hiring additional dispatchers.
Yeah, they're going after another dispatcher. They're also trying to cut down, and this was very important and a little shocking. The sheriff's office reported that it's taking, I think he said 60 days to get a 911 address like logged in their system. So like new people that are building new homes and need new 911 addresses, they get their home, they get their address from the property appraiser's office, but it doesn't actually get into the system that dispatchers use for a long time.
Yeah.
And the sheriff's office is trying to cut down on some of that time.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a clunky system, and I mean, just the smart cop is dated. And I mean, I definitely, listening to all the different ones, like I said, a little more
you're a bit of a
explanations, about how they reference just getting fire reports and stuff, and how if the dispatcher is talking to this person, this deputy, they don't hear this fireman say, hey, I'm on scene. And these reports have to have all this information in there by statute, and it's a challenge for them to do and then provide the report to the fire department. So I mean, it's just, in the greater scheme of things, the sheriff's office is like shouldering the bulk of the cost, it sounds like,
because of the dispatching system. The emergency management system is housed within the sheriff's office,
right?
So that's why they're so centrally involved. But it does affect the GIS and the property appraiser's office, as well as the fire rescue department.
Right.
But the idea here is to build a seamless system for public safety communications countywide that is the opposite of seamless today. I mean, if you heard the explanation from the sheriff's office, it is not seamless. There's 4 or 5 systems, it sounds like, that have to talk to each other just in the normal operations today. Right. So they're trying to make it one system.
Yeah, because I mean, I did notice kind of the theme, and I didn't have a chance to listen to like the entirety of it. I mean,
we were doing a lot on Tuesday as well.
Yes, Tuesdays are kind of crazy. And I mean, I picked up on the initial, when it started, all the back and forth about, spreadsheets, and this one had a spreadsheet, and that there was a bunch of confusion about numbers and who had the right numbers and all. And that,
at one point, it seemed like they all agreed that the numbers they were working with are not good, and they need to start over.
Yeah, so they were like, scrambling a lot. But a lot of the theme I heard is, obviously technology has evolved and changed a lot in the last even just 5 years. And so, like with the sheriff's office, and of course that's a hot topic.
Joel, can you switch your mic really quick? Your mic went dead. See if that one turns on. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Just noticed it was off.
Mine's flashing red.
Okay.
So anyway, technology is kind of the theme. They're all trying to find ways to use it it's cheaper than hiring people. So they're using it to try and fill some gaps, expand their reach, in a variety of ways, from the paperwork aspect of it up to obviously the flock cameras that are such a hot topic right now.
Yeah, the flock camera is a part of it.
Right now.
And most of this tech comes from 1, 2, 3 companies. So it's definitely putting all your eggs in one basket in that sense as well.
Exactly. So I mean, we'll see how it works out for them. In the greater scheme of things, there's a lot of money on the table, theoretically.
$1 million ish.
So I mean, as long as, I guess, the due diligence gets done and making sure that the software is what's advertised. I've dealt with a lot of companies over the years.
They promise a lot.
Exactly. They have big promises, but then very little follow through. And I think in government, it can be even worse, where they promise a lot. And somebody told me probably a year or two ago, the state gets suckered into so many bad technology deals to where they pay a lot of money and they don't get anything on the back end. So we'll definitely follow that and make sure that that doesn't happen locally. But it's still, the audit is and budget season officially kicked off Tuesday, and I'm glad I'm not sitting in those chairs having to make those decisions.
For sure.
Definitely check out next week's edition for the full rundown on that.
Yes, because they also have another budget hearing the 21st.
They're basically doing it either weekly or once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, they split it up. So.
But yeah, there's at least 2 or 3 more. So.
Yeah, so there's still plenty of time to get involved or stream them on Facebook. Watch them.
Yeah. All right. So this is the part of the episode where we run through things people may want to know about on their calendar or get it on their radar. So what's a few things we've got coming up this weekend?
Well,
or next week?
You probably know more about this than us. The drama is doing, the BCHS drama department is doing a radio play.
Mm-hmm. It's a previous recording that they have, but he's going to stream it live on Facebook, so you can follow them at BCHS Drama. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I think I'm looking forward to it.
I remember those were like COVID things that they did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it was pretty neat. I called them the first grade because they did 2 that year, I believe. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty neat. There's also the chamber is hosting a small business tax workshop.
Handy dandy.
Yeah, so you can register for that. It's free for chamber members. And that is, I think it starts at noon. It's like noon to 1. And this is just part of they're trying to offer a series of luncheons, essentially, where small business owners can learn something. You know, we had the privilege, the press, of going and doing the first one and talking about, you know, social media advertising and how to use that to your advantage. So this is the next in that series. And then I see the Republican Assembly is having their annual monthly meeting. I've heard that the Republican Party, the local Republican committee, is hosting a dinner later this month. So there's a
fundraiser, straw poll.
Yeah. So I mean, there's stuff coming up.
I'll shout out the city zoning meeting Monday at 5 p.m. for the new oil change place there on South 6th.
Oh yeah, that Take 5 or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone to that place before in Duval County, and they are very fast. when they say 5, that's what they mean.
So yeah, that's I mean, the city. I'm wondering, is that same piece of property?
It's
next
right
to Waffle House.
Yes, it's right next to Waffle House. That lot, empty lot.
So it's not, because I keep thinking of this one up here on 228 that it was going to be a car wash. And
over here. And the car wash that never became a car wash.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like they even went so far as to have like multiple hearings to change.
Oh yeah. They got all their entitlements. They just never actually built the thing.
So
unlike the Wawa, which is going up very fast.
Yeah, I saw that they're actually hiring somebody to come in and clean the inside, so they must be getting pretty close.
And speaking of jobs, the county's hiring too. They posted a lot of help wanted ads.
The hiring they have a few jobs opening, and I mean, just to kind of preview some things. Speaking of election, the press is not going to host in-person Q&As or speakings. 6 candidates. It's not a big seat. We think that it's probably more beneficial. We're going to sit down and do Q&As. So if you kept up with us 2 years ago.
Yeah, we're going to invite the candidates in for some questions that we're going to solicit from readers, as well as, you know, come up with ourselves. But that's going to be very interesting to find out where they stand on various issues that are important locally. And statewide. I mean, we're going to have some state rep candidates too.
So get those questions in, email them, or you can message them to us via social media, but you can email them to advertising@bakercountypress.com or editor@bakercountypress.com. We need them by next Wednesday because we're going to go ahead and have them come in starting next week. To record these. They will release the last week of July, and they will also be in the newspaper. We'll have, you know, an article write-up for
readers. They'll get a boiled down version. Hopefully the candidates won't be super long-winded and it won't be that hard to boil it down, but definitely you know, there'll be coverage of that both online and in print.
Yeah. So, and that actually is going to probably come right there at the same week of back to school.
Are we there yet?
Which is coming. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that we're like a month out almost, from back to school. So shout out to those teachers and students, and
I'm sure they're on campus getting prepared and starting making plans. And
band camp kicks off next week for the high school band. They're getting ready to work on a lot of brand new show. They're doing a pregame show this year. They've got new stand tunes, so they're.
I saw the schedule that they posted the other day, and that is no joke, boy.
It's intense.
It is very serious. It is very serious.
But given that they're expanding the show, they're doing more, and it's a new show. They got to learn. So
shout out to the band kids.
That's it. They're
stay hydrated.
I mean, they've been there off and on all summer. They just came back from leadership camp at FSU and this and that, but they're putting in a lot of work to make sure to be ready come football season, to hype up the crowd, help those Wildcats hopefully earn a lot of wins under new head coach Jamie Rogers.
Our reader question this week is, what senior activities are available this summer?
Well, I got a handy-dandy little schedule here from the YMCA. Silver Sneakers for the older adults you can find them 9 a.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at the Keller School Gymnasium. Did I say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tuesday 9 a.m., Wednesday 9 a.m., Thursday 9 a.m. At the Keller Gym. And of course, also at the Keller Gym on Monday at 6, shout out kickboxing. That's a full body workout, cardio, and
that's for anybody, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's for.
Or is it Silver Sneakers?
No, it's not geared for any particular age. It is for everybody.
Okay. And Aqua Fitness is big for the seniors.
Yes, they're in the pool. In the pool, 10 a.m. on Wednesdays.
Yeah. And I mean, and they do it. They have a morning and evening.
Yep, 6 p.m. Tuesday and 6 p.m. Thursday. You can also get in the pool and get some workouts in.
And we had an article in the paper this week, right, about the
Silver Sneakers.
Yeah, about Silver Sneakers.
And I mean, and that's the cool thing with that and the Y is I was speaking to Melinda Lewis, who's longtime Y employee, local resident, and she was talking about how, like, with the Medicare plans and everything, those plans will pay for your Y membership. So you get access to all of these programs for free, plus a Y membership. So if you do just want to go to the pool, or if you're, traveling and there's a Y gym somewhere, YMCA, you have access to go work out and stuff. So, I mean, and they're really bringing a lot more programs back to Baker County. There's been a huge kind of revival of the Y.
Yeah, I was on the website this morning, and there even is a reference to tennis, like tennis league, so some sort of adult tennis league coming.
So. Yeah, so I mean, it's just they're kind of evolving and growing, but they've always been big, on helping the senior citizens and kids. It seems like, even though they offer a variety of programs. Also, the Council on Aging, they've got their senior.
They're always up to something.
There. That's it. They keep a schedule throughout the week, so always feel free to go over there. They're located. Their new fancy building, is located behind the now closed Winn-Dixie.
Soon to be Aldi.
And they actually are in the process of getting, I guess, the final paperwork approvals on some more upgrades over there.
Yeah, they're trying to get some covered walkways and stuff, and some parking improvements. Just so people can get around a little easier.
Yeah. So I mean, but I hear they have a Wii. They do Wii bowling and stuff like that.
Wii bowling. They have meals every day, activities. Check them out.
And then the annual Veterans Lunch, the monthly Veterans Lunch.
First Thursday, noon. Yeah. Heritage Park.
There's always a variety of different people that sponsor that and the type of food. So I mean, hey, it's free lunch, and it's good fellowship.
So. And the Emily Tabor Library, they do a craft, I think once a month for seniors. I haven't gotten confirmation back from them yet, but I'll definitely share that once we find out. And and then of course, lots of churches do things for seniors all the time. So it's also a good thing to get plugged into.
That's it.
All right, so that's our look at this week's paper. What do you
there's
think?
so much more in there.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Just
That's a sneak peek.
We covered about 3 stories of maybe 20-ish. So.
Yeah. So don't think you're getting all the news just watching us. Grab a copy of the paper or subscribe online. Go to the website, download the PDF, read it at, as your time allows. But, I stay informed. I really wish people would, don't just take the little tidbits we talk about here. Get that paper and stay up to date with what's going on in our community, because it's very important. And I mean, there's
election
a lot of big
season.
Decisions. Exactly. There's a lot of big decisions.
Your county's growing. We're growing.
So, subscribe online, grab a copy in the stores, come by the office, grab a copy.
Sign up for the newsletters.
Yeah, sign up for the newsletters. We've got the Loop, which is very fun. It's very interesting. A former publisher has a seal of approval on it.
You will giggle.
So it really is good. It's a good way. And Liz is doing a great job including a lot of events. People said they wanted to know what was going on. So even if it's not in the paper, and it may not be stuff just right here in Baker County, but some of the close to home type events and things going on.
Yeah, trying to keep you in the loop.
That's it. So, and then also got the little historical piece in there. Some of the stuff from old newspapers, those are kind of fun little stories. So we've got the Loop, we've got the Weekender. If you subscribe,
if you want an early edition, subscribe to the Weekender.
That's it. And subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. We're over halfway to 500. Kind of making that push to get there. And YouTube is going to be where our Q&As, they go on there first. So if you want that notification that says, hey, they've been uploaded, you need to subscribe.
I say we do something fun if we make it to 500 subscribers. I don't know what, but I'll think about it. Maybe we put a pie in Joel's face.
Maybe.
Yeah, we could come up with something.
We'll brainstorm. We're open to suggestions.
That's it. Let us know what you would like within reason to see. I'm just going to put a blank check out there.
Right now. Don't blame me there.
Yes, but definitely subscribe, follow us. Both subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the paper, and you guys have a great weekend.
See you later.
All right.